Hi guys, AMJ here. So where we last left off, I'm a little discouraged. I don't know if you can tell. I'm a little bit brain dead, a little bit, because I did so much research and backstory to try and research on the backstory of the characters, basically is what I was doing for the game of Beastgrave. Because the way Warhammer usually works is there's normally a backstory to the characters that they bring to the game, to the board. Not these characters. Nope. There is nothing. It really upset me. Okay? I even read the whole book on Beastgrave, the whole book, thinking, oh, this is great. I'm going to get to learn the backstory on the characters. I can talk about them. It's going to be more fun to play them because, you know, I know about them. No. That did not happen, okay? Let me tell you. I got so invested in all of the characters in Beastgrave just to find out that the ones that are on the board have nothing to do with the story. Now, you want to know why? Do you want to know why that is? Because the glorious writer of Beastgrave decided he wanted it to be a standalone story. I should have found that out before I did all of my research. I'm just saying. So, this second part of the video was supposed to be about, you know, Groshrak and his warband. So I'm going to tell you a little bit that I found out about them, but I don't know if I know anything that you guys don't know, but just in case, I'm going to say it anyways. So like I said, this book had nothing to do with any of the characters in the game. So Groth, the root cutter, no, he's not in the game. I really liked Groth too. Groth the Mighty. No Groth. No Kyra. None of my characters in that book. None. Nada. There's one good thing about the book that I will say that kind of pertains to the game, because while you're playing the game, you're trying to figure out, okay, well, where did the Sylvaneth come from? Why are they even here? I mean, you got kind of an idea that they're there to kind of contain the curse from leaving Beastgrave. Kind of. It's like a lot of speculation. It's like a lot of what you put together in your own mind, and I guess that's maybe what the creators of the game wanted to try and do. They just gave you a whole new band of characters, and then they tell you, okay, go ahead and create your own backstories, which is fine. That's cool. But what if you don't want to? This is what I want to know. What if you don't want to sit there and create a whole backstory for these random characters that come out of nowhere? What if I wanted Groth? Groth strong. Groth the root cutter. What if I wanted Kira from the Thornwild? What if I wanted her? She's awesome. She's so cool. She has so much power. She's a seer. Okay, so I digress. I'll go back to what I was trying to say. So basically, that has nothing to do with Beastgrave. So just in case you guys wanted to know and you wanted to read that book, I'm telling you right now, I read it for you. Has nothing to do with the game. Just saying. Groshrak, the Failhoof, who is the leader, he is not just a beastkin or a beastigore. He is actually a shaman, which is kind of interesting because in the book, Groth had a shaman who was called Sorgas, who actually was a turnskin, what they called a turnskin, because he was half human, half beast. He was born, you know, his parents, one was human, one was a beast. I mean, you do. I'll let your imagination go there. To how he was created. But anywho, so he was created and he had lots of powers, and it's kind of cool. I will give it to them. In the game, it's kind of cool that they took both of the coolest characters in the book and they merged it into one. So he is a wizard, he's a shaman, and he also has the power and strength of a beastigore. Like he's insane. Then we have Draknar, who is actually really useful to have in the game because he is very fast. And he's the one that you want to hold out on to use in the game, because you wait until your enemies are kind of weakened. That's when he comes and he swoops in and he does the final blow. So he's pretty cool. There wasn't one like him in the book, so I'll give that to them. That's kind of neat. That's cool to have in a game. So there's Gnarl and Ushra. Gnarl, Ushra. I don't know if I said their names right, but I'm hoping that I did. I probably didn't, but you get what I'm saying. They're the huntsmen. They're the bowsmen in the game. They're the ones that carry the bow and arrows. They're the ones that herd everybody around. Kind of like they kind of remind me of, you know, the herd dogs that herd the sheep. That's what they do. That's their job. They just herd them, get them into position. That's their job. Then you got Morgoth, the half-horn. He is also a hunter, but I think he's the lead of the hunters. Like, he's the tougher one. He is very easy to underestimate, which is kind of like leads me to believe that he's more of like bait. He's more of, you know, you see me, but you don't see the others in the background that are doing the same thing that I'm trying to do to you. So he's the one that you underestimate, but he's the one that holds more power than the other two. That's what I'm thinking. Speculation. No story to back up my claim. Did I mention that? Then there's Crush, the sneak. I mean, I don't really have to tell you. I think we already know what the sneak means. He's a sneaky bastard. He'll get you. He'll pop up all over the board when you don't expect him. You're like, you're a damn Houdini. Where'd you come from? And he can take you out. And you can't do nothing about it. I'm a little annoyed. I'm trying really, really hard not to be, only because I wanted so badly for the characters in the book to actually be on the board. But it's okay, because that's just my opinion. I mean, I can pretend Grashrak is gruff, and I can pretend Sorghos is there in the background doing his shaman things, that there's not one person that does it all, that there's actually two doing it. So I'm going to pretend that in my little brain while I'm playing the game, okay? Okay, that's what I'm going to do. If you guys want to do it too, I'll understand. So these guys are ruthless motherfuckers. I'm sorry, but they are. They, unlike the people in the story that I read, like Groth and his little war band, they're not in Beastgrave to seek any kind of glory, any kind of treasure, any kind of power, nothing. They're just there for pure destruction. They're there just to destroy and hunt and do anything that they can. They thrive off it. They have like such a bloodlust. They're horrible. They're horrible and probably the best enemies to have. So I like that. They're pretty freaking cool. Real quick spoiler alert for those of you who want to read the book and haven't read the book. I'm going to be talking a lot about the book. A lot. So if you don't want to hear it, go ahead and skip on ahead. I'll put a timestamp down below for where I will talk more about the game. But mostly this is going to be about the book. So I apologize in advance. And thank you for staying if you do. Back to the story though, if you guys did read the story, it kind of had a reason for why everybody ended up in the Beastgrave. I mean, it's really cool to sit there and think that the mountain sent visions to people and just drew them in just randomly. In the book, they did do that too, but there was a purpose. Like with Groth, the war chieftain, the head guy, they had him they gave him a vision in the flames showing him that he could have power beyond belief, beyond his wildest dreams, that he could not only be a war chief of his little beastkin, he could be the war chief of all the beastkin. Like thousands and thousands of them would fall at his feet while he stormed across Gur and left destruction in his wake at his pleasure. And the only way that he would be able to do that is the Beastgrave showed him that he just had to go through a certain passageway. He showed him the way. He would have to take the heart of a beast lord. I mean, that's pretty freaking cool to have that kind of backstory for why they got there. I mean, he takes a band of small group of, you know, his trusted beastigors, and they take off, and, you know, the Thornwild find out what's happening because they get sent a vision also that Groth the Root Cutter, and he's called that because he's destroyed their kind many times, is going to be going to Beastgrave to seek the power of this beast lord, and they can't allow that to happen. Because if it does happen, they're done. Everything in Gur is destroyed. So they send their loyal people out to try and stop him, not only stop him, but to kill the Beast Lord so nobody else can take that power. So that's how they all ended up going into Beastgrave. Unbeknownst to them, though, once they died, they did become reanimated, and they had no idea why. And then they realized, to their horror, that that was their destiny. They were going to be stuck there for all eternity inside the mountain, being cursed to relive over and over and over what they had done, constantly trying to stop Groth from taking the power of the Beast Lord, and Groth constantly trying to kill them because they're trying to stop him. I mean, that is such a cool backstory to have. So in my mind, that's what I'm going to think of when I try and play the game, because that makes more sense to me. I don't know about you guys, but that's all I have for today's video. I would love to hear what you guys think. I would love to hear your backstory on the war bands, good and the bad. I'd love to hear it because my mind keeps drawing a blank towards it. Like, I'm finding it really hard to connect towards those characters because my mind is so stuck on the characters inside the book. But anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Go ahead and leave comments once again because I do take what you guys say to heart. Like, I do listen. I don't know if you guys could tell, but if the sound quality is any better, that means the mic worked. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Bye.